In this video, we will review the rotate, translate, and scale command in Microsurvey CAD. In this example, we have a subdivision plan, and in a separate survey, a crew has tied in one of the houses in the subdivision, but they've used arbitrary coordinates and assumed bearings when tying in the lot corners. So point 5000 corresponds with 0.98, and 5001 corresponds with 0.9. I've brought the house survey into my subdivision plan, but I need to fit it on the lot. The RTS command is going to allow me to do that. I can start the command under the point menus. I'll choose RTS. I'm then going to be prompted to use the command line. I'm going to say no. I'll then see this user interface. First, I want to pick the points to process, so I could type these in manually with my keyboard, or we could choose the CAD pick option, and that will let me window in the points I'd like to select. Now it'll ignore all of the line work and labeling, it's just going to choose the points in the database. I'll hit enter, and we can see that points 5000 to 5008 have been entered automatically. I then need to choose a base point for my rotation. So I could enter a coordinate, but I'll choose point number. Enter 5000 down here. And for each one of these values that we enter, we need to choose the update button, and that will apply it. Then need to set the rotation, and I will use 4 point numbers in this example. Enter 5000 to 5001. So this bearing here, and then separated by a comma, 98 to 9. So this bearing here. I'll then hit apply, or update rather, and a quick visual inspection lets me know that that number seems to make sense. 6 degrees looks correct, so I don't think I've made a blunder, and we can see it needs to go clockwise, which makes sense. Now I'm going to hit process now and apply these values, and then we'll come back and apply the shift and scale after. We'll first get a review screen, and again we can look at the numbers that we entered and make sure everything seems correct. When we're happy, choose OK. Now I'll get a point protection warning because I am trying to move points that are stored in the database. So I'll just turn point protection off and hit overwrite, and that'll apply that to all of them. We can see that the house has been rotated around 5000, and now we need to shift it and scale it to fit it on the lot. I'll start the RTS command again. We can see that my values have been stored, so if I did need to make a change, I could come back in here and update it. We want to apply a shift, and I'm going to use 2 point numbers. I want to move 5000 to 0.98. So we're going to move 5000 over to 98. Again, hit update. Here's another example of where a quick visual inspection is a good thing. These values seem to be correct based on what I'm seeing in the drawing. And then I'll also add a grid to ground scale factor. Apply that as well. Now you don't want to hit process and come back in again and add a scale, because it will repeatedly add the scale over and over again. So just make sure if you're going to enter scale, only do it once when you process. And if you're not sure, just compare your distances, because you should see them change after each time you hit process. We get our review screen one more time, hit OK. Now we can see that the house has been moved onto the lot. If I zoom in, 0.5000 matches 0.98. And 0.9 matches 0.5001. There will be a minor discrepancy there due to the scaling and any inherent errors in the survey. So that's how you complete rotate, translate, scale in Microsurvey CAD. Thank you for watching.